The approval of several bills during the state legislative session, lawmakers agreed to hold the New Orleans Sewerage and Water Board more accountable amid chronic flooding and billing problems. Right now, two of the agency's top priorities, they say, are billing and stormwater management. Sewerage and Water Board Executive Director Ghassan Korban joins us to talk about how the agency is addressing the community's concerns. Also, there's a number of things you all are looking forward to as some of this legislation has come out. First off, thanks for being here this morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, good morning.
I think it's very important to point out to the viewers that while this legislative session was busy and it did focus on the Sewerage and Water Board, it was a welcoming situation for us because it was collaborative.
Good to hear.
And many of the conclusions and how the bills ended up looking like were things we've been hoping for. Okay. So, for example, the fixed billing bill that was proposed by Representative Hilferty, what it does basically, it allows us to offer our customers to opt in into accepting a fixed amount on a monthly basis.
As opposed to estimated billing.
Estimated bill is, I mean, it will be an estimate predicated on past usage.
Okay.
The only difference here is that it will not be subject to a true-up at the end of that duration, because it will terminate when a smart meter is installed for that customer. So they will not be faced with a true-up, typically a delta that amounts to more money that just to kind of make up for the unpaid amounts. So in this case, it's just a fixed amount with no, and basically ending with no true-up whatsoever, which is exactly what the customer want, and we welcome that.
And customers do have to opt into that.
Absolutely. And
as you said.
The good thing is that it will end with a smart meter installed, which will result in smart bills that reflects the actual consumption, and that will bring accuracy and timeliness to that customer's account.
Sure, and and it makes sense that's something you all were asking for, because it does help you on your end with some of that, navigating, because once the smart meters are in, that takes a little bit of the weight off your shoulders, I imagine.
Absolutely. The fluctuation is really what challenged our customers the most. And then we were under a law that does not allow us to just write off certain consumed amount that is owed to us. So this basically gives us that cover and would allow us to just basically not have that true-up, which is huge for our customers. And then obviously at the end of the day, we're going to end with a smart meter that results in a smart bill.
Give you that specific number. And then also, we're talking about with that fluctuation, if there are unpaid balances or you're coming into bills that are delinquent, now you all are also getting some help from the state in that area as well.
Absolutely, and that's a welcome initiative that what it does, it brings some objectivity and neutrality to bringing judgments to about 25,000 delinquent accounts. These are active accounts where users are using our water, they're paying something, but they are really carrying a balance because they're disputing it. So, and we've been trying to decipher those and obviously resolve them. What this does now, these arbiters or the judges that are coming from the state, paid by the state, will make a judgment that hopefully will be more credible, at least from the eyes of the customer.
Sure. And
then they're going to make a judgment on a certain account that hopefully will entice or encourage the customer to just make a payment because they have more confidence in the judgment.
Because you have a third-party person now coming in.
Absolutely. And if the judgment is such that it would lower the amount that it's owed, so be it, then we can just maybe obviously move on, and then the customer is more satisfied. And again, I keep talking about the smart meters, and the smart meter, just the timing of that is so perfect where it comes in and it kind of wipes everything clean, and we're starting, we have a fresh start, so to speak, with each customer.
For both the Sewerage and Water Board as well as the customer, so you can focus on your job. It makes sense while those are, ones that were welcomed by the Sewerage and Water Board. So I think there is a misconception for a lot of people thinking, these laws came down in order to police the Sewerage and Water Board, and now things will change, but it's also something you've been asking for. So I think that's an important part of this. Now, there is an issue though for you all on the Sewerage and Water Boards, and where you had been asking, or we're counting on tens of millions of dollars in order to work on this power complex. Where does that put us with not receiving any of that money? And we're still waiting to hear from the governor, who had said there would be a meeting, and it got pushed back due to what they said was scheduling conflicts. Where does that put us as far as the future when we're dealing with possible flooding, but also, we know that our sewage system is very old.
Yep, absolutely. So we have identified the power generation, and power in general is a very critical component of how we manage drainage in the city, how we provide drinking water for our city. So we set out to replace and modernize the power system, and then we have started that project a couple of years ago, and we're tracking very well, and we're still on track to finish and deliver that project by mid of next year, right? So when we say power complex, it's a lot of components. It's modern power system, so it's a Entergy's substation, new turbines, a lot of equipment that is reliable, efficient, and redundant. What is at stake now is that we had been counting on $29 million to finish this project completely and deliver a top-of-the-art, very dependable project. And we're still going to deliver a project by middle of next year, but it will have missing components that would force us to use manual processes here and there, so it would still not be how it was designed. Now, having said all that, we're hearing a lot of positive things behind the scenes, and like you said, the press conference would have maybe unveiled an alternative source of funding for us in lieu of the capital outlay. So as of today, well, I don't have the $29 million fully identified and in my hand, which I need to start new contracts to finish the project.
There will still be a project.
I'm hopeful that because everybody understands how critical this project is and how it is important and imperative to complete it the way it's designed.
Sure.
So I think while we didn't get the money, the end of the session, I'm very hopeful that we will eventually, and through talks and just collaboration between the city, the administration, the city council, and the legislators and the governor's office, I think they're all fully aware how critical the project is.
Okay. Thank you for being here. It's important.